Hey, what is up guys? Speed here, and today we're going to be looking at Seb Nature's Prophet. The reason why I want to look at Seb Nature's Prophet is I want to have a discussion about how to play Orkin Nature's Prophet and become absolutely broken on this hero. This is also personally my most played hero, so I'm very confident when talking about this hero and giving strategies, and I actually learned a lot of my Prophet from Bulldog. Now I know this isn't Bulldog, but also Seb. Those were the two main players that I learned Prophet from. I learned Prophet early on from Bulldog and later on from Seb, and so I hope I can bestow that great information onto you guys so that you can play this hero at a high level as well. Because Nature's Prophet has a lot of options. This hero can do anything. Literally, it can do anything. It can TP anywhere. It can build any item it technically wants, and so smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. By the way, for everyone who has subscribed to the channel, comment down below. Speed. I have a GameLeap sub because I know you guys do as well. I'm kidding. Alright, let's get into the video. But quickly, before we do, I do want to announce that we just released the GameLeap website, right? So if you guys are looking for new content, we just put out this site. It's brand new. I have not been promoting it for the last 2 years now. If you don't know what it is at this point, we put new videos every single day that help you get to the next level. I'm not kidding. You don't believe me? Go check it out. Not reposted YouTube videos, literally new, fresh content, right? So if you're looking for something, oh, it's not on YouTube, it's probably over there. So click the link down below, sign up today, and I hope to see you guys there. Let's get right into it. The main thing that I want to pay attention to in lane is this level 1 pressure. So I want to talk about this matchup to start. Now, it's very specific, but I love going into advanced knowledge with you guys as well from time to time. So you can see them immediately going this Morphling. Why? Because Morphling is at its weakest at level 1. If you are playing Nature's Prophet versus Morphling and you do not hard pressure him at level 1, you are playing the matchup crazy wrong. And you need to communicate to your position 4 as well that you want to go aggressive. You cannot expect them to know. A lot of players just expect their teammates to know. That is not what you should do. On top of that, Seb being an absolute beast, getting 2 denies in the first wave. Now, the key to Prophet in lane is understanding your strengths, but not over-committing. Now, what do I mean by this? So right here, he's auto-attacking both of them to death, right? Nearly picks up a double kill, even snipes the courier. Literally the best start you could get. You can see he is skyrocketing on net worth. But, what people don't do correct on Prophet is they do not balance it. So what they do is they say, okay, I'm against the Morphling. All I'm going to do is auto-attack him and auto-attack him and auto-attack him. And then you lose the lane, right? The reason why you lose the lane when trying to do that is they'll probably end up living. You'll take a bunch of damage from taking the creep wave. And all in all, you'll have no CS. Now in this case here, he's able to pick up a second kill onto the Morphling. And that is super worth it. Why? Because the Morphling now has no teleport. And so the Morphling's game is basically over. He's going to tilt out. And so that makes a lot of sense, right? The Morphling is also still level 1 at that point. And therefore, he has no waveform, can't escape. So that pressure makes complete sense. But do keep in mind, in your average lane, when it's not that easy to stomp and your position 4 isn't that good, you want to focus mostly on CS. The next thing about Prophet that I quickly want to talk about is Treant Spawning and usage of the spell. It's very important to just constantly just summon them in the lane. I watch a lot of Prophets and it will take them 10 or even if it's 5 or even 3-4 seconds to spawn their Treants. And when you get your Treants up, if you think you're going to need to use them, just spawn them, right? Also, if you spawn them right away, an important thing to note is that the duration is 60 seconds and the cooldown is 37, meaning you can have, let's say, 8 Treants, right? Assuming your Nature's Call is level 3, you can have 8 Treants at the same time, and so on, right? This applies to all levels and allows you to fight runes very well. It allows you to battle in the lane extremely well, and so keep that in mind. Spawn your Treants as much as you possibly can, and then use your normal teleport to fill your mana back up. Okay, next up, Seb is about to make his first rotation of the game. And I do want to be clear, guys, I do not, yes, and even though Seb is doing it, I do not recommend making rotations in the early game as Prophet. Now, what are the circumstances you would do it? Well, maybe if there is an overfarmed Ember Spirit or mid-Ember Spirit, that you can kill. In this case, I think Seb's slightly undercommitted on the TP. Maybe he didn't know which way the Ember would run, so kind of a good middle ground. But unfortunately, the Sprout wasn't able to block him off, and he loses the kill. Now, this is not necessarily the end of the world, right? It's not the end of the world, but what is Seb missing out on? He's missing out on 2 main things. Shutting down this Morphling, who is currently 0-2 with 8 CS, so after all, they literally could continue to run at him, and he's missing out on a lot of farm. Even if he was to get the kill, it would not amplify his game. And that's what people don't understand. They think, oh, I got a kill, I'm playing the game so well, I'm 4-0, 12 minutes in, I must be popping off. But really, right here, I would even argue that the Earth Spirit and the Prophet should have likely stayed bottom and continued to pressure the Morphling, right? Because he was having such a bad game. And when someone's having a bad game, it doesn't all of a sudden get easier. If anything, it should get harder, and Prophet is the master of doing that. So at this point in the game, the Morphling is very farmed. Morphling is actually extremely farmed. He takes basically no damage from the Prophet anymore, as he has a lot of armor and can use his agility and strength gain to keep himself alive. So what is Seb going to look to do? Well, there's a couple things. Number one is farm the triangle when the lane is hard, which is what he's doing here. It is totally okay to jungle early on to the game, especially if you had a bad lane for whatever reason and you can't lane. It is okay to leave. It is also okay to give your position for the lane and simply jungle yourself. That is assuming you cannot pressure the Morphling. If you can pressure or dive the enemy safe lane, or maybe it's some really weak Wraith King who has no items, feel free and you should stay in the lane to pressure him. But if that is not the case like this game, then instead what he's going to do is simply sit in the jungle and help out with his ultimate, right? It allows them to get the kill onto the top lane, and most importantly, he's going to continue to farm, especially taking Ancients. Right, these Ancients are a huge amplification to your ability to snowball, and a lot of players simply never do this. They're so afraid to farm on Nature's Prophet. It's like, I have global teleport, I have to make 1,000,000 plays. No, you don't. No, you don't. All in all, Seb actually farms the triangle for like 3 minutes straight, only going back bottom when Morphling seemingly is pushing in the lane. And I really hope this teaches you guys a very important lesson on Prophet, and that is you don't have to do so much and have so much impact to be a high MMR Prophet player. The reason why I'm stressing this so much is I see that all the time from Prophet players. They'll make terrible TPs, even here, right? Look at this top fight. Why doesn't Seb TP in? After all, they're all kind of low on HP, right? This Tide is half HP. I think the Ember even ends up dropping somewhat low. The Morphling seemingly is low. Even his ultimate came in. Why not TP? It's because it's just not good anymore. Even going at something like this Enchantress, right? Even if he was to pick up this kill, which is very hard to do, Untouchable makes her near unkillable to you unless you have your ultimate, it doesn't matter. He does not want to overcommit for bad fights, and that's a really important thing to learn on Prophet. It's actually the hardest thing because, frankly, it applies to every hero in Dota. The advanced understanding of whether or not you should show up to a fight. Instead, what I like that he does rather than showing up to some awful fight, he continues to push in bottom, continues to amplify his farm, and even walks all the way back to the triangle, using Sprout to spawn Treants, and is continuing to farming. Only when the top wave is being pushed in and no one can farm it, does he actually TP away. And so guys, please, 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 hit your timings, hit your Orchid, and then look for kills like this. This one makes a lot of sense. Why? Because the Morphling does not see it coming, it's a brand new Orchid, and they pick up a huge kill. Why does this work so well? Well, they see him top. They're like, oh, the Prophet's top. Right? They feel comfortable. Even though it's a Nature's Prophet with teleport, people will visibly see heroes on the minimap, assume they're safe in the lane across the map, and you can TP in and kill them. Also, do note he TPs out of vision. This is the perfect TP in this situation. Does not want the Morphling to see the trees coming in. Leads with the Orchid, follows up with the ultimate, and secures the kill. And now this game is completely out of hand. Also, guys, keep in mind when you have the Orchid timing, because this video I do want to center it around, the Orchid timing. Notice how after he got a kill and took a large engagement, he goes back to farming. If you do not push in the waves after getting a kill, you're going to have a hard time finding another kill, because the enemy team doesn't have to show. They don't have to defend their towers. They can push lane creeps out wherever they want, right? They can even farm their jungle safer, but in this case, he pushes in the bottom lane, gets the Wind Ranger to show, and can continue to split up the map while the enemy team will likely have a hard time doing this. Because of it, he can TP into the top lane. After all, the Wind Ranger can't actually be here right away. Her TP just came up. And because of that, it's a pretty solid fight. And this is the benefit of Prophet. He gets gone on the top lane after farming it out. He has 10,000 net worth. 10,000 net worth at the 17-minute mark. And now, after being top, once again making the Morphling feel like he's safe, can TP in. Also, a big tip as a Prophet player, this is very difficult, I understand, I just want to put the idea on the table. Have your teammates go to the opposite side lane. So, if you're pushing in top, get your teammates to set up bottom. And vice versa, make sure they bring wards. Look at the jungle right here, right? See, they have a ward here, they have a ward here. This allows him to confidently play this area. After all, it's actually a very bad game for Prophet. In the mid game, they have an Ember, a Tide, even Wind Ranger is pretty difficult for him to kill, the Enchantress as well. It's not really some god tier, Prophet game. And so what he has to do is make sure that his vision and mobility allow him to avoid bad engagements, which is what he's doing this entire game. And after a lot more rinse and repeat, he's able to help out his team in the top lane while ulting bottom, right? That's how the Prophet ulti works. You want to cast it away from the fight, so if they're top, you cast it bottom, and vice versa. His ultimate picks up a kill onto the Morphling. He's not even too worried about the fight. He knows he's leveraged his team advantage so much that as long as he TPs in at some point, he can easily win the fight. Basically 2 shots to Wind Ranger and makes the call for Roshan. And this is such a beautiful Prophet rotation. Really, plays like this are what inspired me to play Prophet originally, where you can TP in, get a kill, while farming the entire time, by the way. But while farming, you can TP in, get a kill across the map, transition into a tower or a Roche instantly. And this is what makes Prophet such a deadly hero, especially in the pro scene. No matter how safe you think you are, you can make plays like this where all of a sudden, you're just gone on, right? Great roll by the Earth Spirit, and they pick up another kill. And yeah, if you get good at Prophet, you get good at his laning and his snowballing, like I've shown you how to do in this video. Honestly, it's not even that hard to farm early on as Prophet and get big. You just snowball the game. There's nowhere the enemy team can be that is safe. Right? This map is completely over, and this is the reality behind Prophet. Usually, what would happen in a game like this, guys? What would happen, right? So the Dire, the Zeus Lich, Earth Spirit, Prophet, and Chaos Knight, let's assume this Prophet is, I don't know, a Centaur. What would happen is that the Ember and the Morphling would go to the side lanes, split up the map, and make it very hard for them to end the game. But because they have a Prophet, no matter where they go, they die. And that's why if you get good at the laning stage on Prophet, the game completely collapses. Because you buy an Orchid, you do not take dangerous engagements, you take pick-offs, right? Pick-offs. And when you get those pick-offs, the map quickly closes in, you shove in the lanes, preventing them to split push whatsoever, and the game ends. Kind of the damage he deals here is just dirty. I mean, this is a Tide Hunter. After all, I mean, this Tide Hunter does not have an armor item, which does make him take quite substantial amounts of right-click damage, but 6 right-clicks onto a Tide Hunter kills him, and that is a maxed out Kraken Shell, by the way. Just straight up goes down, continuing to push in the lanes. Ember Spirit wants to push him bottom, but at any point, Seb could just threaten him out of the area. With 1 teleport, if he wants to, he can just kick him out. And yeah, so I know this video was on the shorter side. I just want to give some really quick ideas, give you guys a refresher course on how to snowball on this hero, as I know over and over again, people just get it wrong. Constantly, they just get it wrong. And that's the reality behind Prophet. They try to do too much. And it's funny because it's like players, they watch like, let's say Bulldog TI3, and he's just constantly TPing around going for kills. But that's because he was against a Bat Rider he couldn't lane against. You guys know what game I'm talking about. He literally couldn't lane. It was impossible. He had nowhere to be, and so he made a rotation. If that's your game as well, by all means, make your rotations, create some space, or at least head into the jungle and get some farm. But if you were snowballing like Seb, please do not run down lanes, do not constantly gank, go to the triangle, hit your Orchid timing at minute 12 or minute 13 like Seb did, and get pickoffs over and over and over again. If you follow this formula with the Orchid Nature's Prophet, I guarantee you guys will become absolutely broken, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace. Before you leave, just want to say a quick message. If you're trying to get better at Dota or you just enjoyed that video, I know this is pretty general, and you're going to hear this quite a bit from me, but I recommend you sign up to GameLeap.com. Why? Because I put a lot of effort into the content over there, and generally the effort I do there is different from the content you're going to see here on YouTube. It is different. In fact, I usually go a lot more in depth on topics or into niche topics that help you get to the next level even faster. Because on YouTube, I often have to keep it more mainstream, and that's even why I'm putting it at the end of this YouTube video. That's why this is at the end, because a lot of people just watch 5 minutes, they skip through just for like the dopamine spike. But if you are interested in actually getting better at Dota, I recommend you go to the description down below, get your discount right now by clicking the link, sign up, use the discount code that you're going to see there, and I hope to see you there right now. So click it, and yeah, thanks for watching.